B-boys would come to the party. They'll stand on the side, you know, the breakers, and they would just, you know, you're doing your thing, you're throwing on your joints, but they're just waiting for that moment that you just break out with some Apache.
Now that, let me tell you, if you didn't dance to that break, there was something wrong with you. There was something wrong with you.
But DJ supremacy wasn't only about having the best beats, it was also about what you did with them. In their efforts to outdo each other, Bronx DJs began developing a series of revolutionary turntable techniques. Scratching was the most famous of them, a method of stopping the record and rubbing it back and forth against the needle. The trick here was to do it without damaging the vinyl. DJs also began using two copies of the same record, playing them off of each other back and forth to extend the beat. This was known as backspinning.
It was just magical to see somebody extend a piece of a record for like 3 to 4 minutes that you know that was only like a 20-second part in the song. That was magical.
The very last element of hip-hop music to emerge was the skill of rapping. Like the musical style itself, rapping evolved out of a combination of ingenuity and circumstance. At this stage, the term rap was yet to come into existence. Picking up a microphone to speak over a record was simply called MCing.
MCing evolved from the DJ having a microphone to make announcements, to announce when the next party was going to be, where the next party was going to be, who was going to be at the party, you know what I mean? To acknowledge members of the group, members in the crew, or people in the audience.
And I used to call people's name and say, yo, to my mellow Wallace, D, 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 or this is the joint, 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 joint. You never heard it like this before, and playing around with it.
Every DJ, either he did that himself or he had somebody that would make the announcements for him, started to embellish, you know, when they would say things until it grew into sentences, into paragraphs, you know, into verses, you know, into rhymes.
Who are you? Who am I? 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 I'm Cass. So what? What do that mean? That I'm the baddest MC lover on the hip-hop scene. It's the Bronx in the house.
MCing was the final element which made the music complete. The next phase in its development was about to begin. But the music itself still lacked a name. By the late 1970s, one would emerge.
People used to just toss around, hey, little hippity, let's call it little hippity hop. It was the hippity hop. Yeah, little hippity hop guys down there. You know, they twist around and call, little hip hop guys. Yeah, little hippie parties, little hype parties like that. Then they finally, you know, went that way, went this way, and then out comes hip hop. And that kind of really, that label kind of tagged on it. Hip hop tagged on it, covered the whole scope of the game.
Hip hop, as it was now known, had grown from being a neighborhood pastime into a fully fledged culture and a way of life. Since hip hop was still unrecognized by any record labels, the music existed only in the form of live performance.
Hip-hop is taking the sound system in the park and, you know what I mean, setting it up and playing 5, 6, 7 hours and then tearing it down and taking that sound system home. That was hip-hop, and we did it faithfully because we loved it.
Let's go from party to party. 15 guys packed in the back of a van, speakers, records, turntables, amplifiers. We driving down the highway, set up in Connecticut, rip the party apart, throw all the speakers back in, everybody back in, drive back home, go to sleep, get up the next day, might do the same thing again. But that's the way we do it.
Even though the music was yet to receive recognition from record companies and radio stations, from its birthplace in the Bronx, it was spreading into the other boroughs of New York City. DJing and rapping was seizing the imagination of black teenagers in Queens, Brooklyn, and Harlem.